we want to get straight to our top story this morning. Townsville residents have been told to evacuate as rain continues to flood the area. We cross live now to Rosanna Kingson, who is in Townsville. Now, Rosanna, residents need to leave by midday today.
That's right, guys. In 6 suburbs, Cludon, Anoomba, Hermit Park, Adalia, Railway Estate and Rosslea, the Ross River is rising quickly. It's expected to reach the major flood levels, and so authorities are concerned. They want people to make sure they have their things, they are ready to go by midday today. Soldiers from the 3rd Battalion will be joining emergency services today as they go around homes in these areas to door knock and tell people to get out. There are now 2 evacuation centres open here in Townsville, one at the Heatley Secondary College, another at the Townsville Sports Precinct in North Ward. So if people don't have somewhere to go, they are advised to go there. Uplands Weir is at the minor flood level right now, but it is expected to reach major today. The dam levels overnight, we've seen them go up about 20%. They're currently around 143%. In the 2019 floods, though, they were 232. So a long way to go before you reach those 2019 flood levels, but the dam is increasing significantly. In Ingham, meanwhile, the Herbert River is at the major flood level. It's expected to reach the levels seen in the March 2018 floods. So residents there are being urged to take shelter. There's an emergency alert there, and the Showgrounds is an evacuation centre which is open for people if they have nowhere to go. The Ingham Pump Station may reach 15 metres this afternoon. That is nearly at the 1967 flood peaks there. We've seen huge rainfall totals around the region in the past 24 hours. 605 millimetres fell at the Paluma Dam since 9 a.m. yesterday, more around the 200 to 300 millimetre mark here in Townsville. In Ingham, though, around 329. The BOM is saying that 24-hour totals of 600 millimetres are possible, so we do have a long way to go, guys, with this rain event.
Yes, indeed, and residents have been told to pack medication and clothes for at least 3 days, and those with babies to take enough nappies and bottles and formula for 5 days, and to plan to not have access to a fridge or a microwave. It is dire. Thanks very much, Rosanna. And Queensland Premier David Crisafulli will join us live at 7:30 this morning to provide an update on that flood emergency. Here's Mush.
Well, Mon, let's go straight to Philadelphia in the United States, where 7 people have been killed in the second fatal airplane crash in that country in days. 7 News aviation editor and our correspondent on the ground there, Blake Johnson. Blake, good morning to you. A beyond dramatic vision and an absolutely heartbreaking story behind all of this.
Yes, Michael, 7 people confirmed killed now. Driver in a car, the most recent fatality of this plane crash last night, plus the 6 people who were on board that medical plane when it smashed into the ground. I can show you the scene. It's still very much closed off at the moment, and you can see why. It's an absolute mess. On the left, there's a crater where the plane hit, and then it's left cars torched on this street. 19 others were injured in the incident. The plane nosediving into the car park of a mall in northeast Philadelphia. The Mexican president has confirmed all 6 on board were Mexican nationals on their way home from the little girl on board receiving medical treatment. The plane hit with such force, the explosion lit up the night sky. Debris was sent flying 4 to 6 blocks away. The plane's transponder last recorded at almost 400 kilometres an hour, so it is a remarkable scene down here. Transport safety investigators, we've just seen them walk past. They've been busy with the crash in DC. They've sent a team up here to Philadelphia. So a busy weekend for them, investigating 2 fatal crashes in a week. And just on that DC crash, they've got heavy machinery into the Potomac River today to pull the last of the wreckage and the victims out of the water.
All right, Blake, thank you for that. It's just terrible. The little girl on board had received treatment in the United States with the medical team on board and some of her family returning home.
It is just unimaginably sad, isn't it?
Terrible. All right, let's get some more news now. Here's Sal.
Good morning. A driver is in hospital after a dramatic chase in Sydney's southwest this morning. Let's go live to our reporter, Brianna Jackson at Belmore. Brianna, what triggered the chase?
Good morning, Sally. Police attempted to stop a Toyota hatchback on Morton Street in Lakemba just before 2 a.m. this morning, and when that driver failed to stop, a police pursuit was initiated. It didn't last very long, though. The driver crashing into this Mazda on Peel Street here in Belmore, right around the corner. Fortunately, she didn't sustain any serious injuries. She was, though, taken to St George Hospital as a precaution and for drug and alcohol testing. And now it's just a very unfortunate discovery for one car owner to have to wake up to this morning in Belmore. Sal.
All right, thanks very much, Bree. To other news now, and 3 states are bracing for severe heatwave conditions today, with the Weather Bureau predicting scorching weather in Victoria, South Australia and WA. The extreme heat is expected to impact crews currently fighting multiple bushfires burning in Victoria's Grampians National Park. 4 Watch and Act warnings have been issued to blazes in the Grampians. Residents are urged to monitor conditions today. Victoria's police force has vowed to push on in the search for Samantha Murphy's body 12 months after the Ballarat mother's heartbreaking disappearance. On February 4th last year, Samantha left her home for a run. She hasn't been seen since. 23-year-old Patrick Stevenson was charged with her murder a month after she disappeared, but police are yet to find her body. In a major coup for Victoria, Melbourne is set to host an in-season NFL game at the MCG in October. We cross live to Hope Wilson at the MCG this morning. Gosh, Hope, this is a very big win for Aussie NFL fans, isn't it?
Good morning, Sal. It sure is. We're only just learning these details right now, but I already feel like these are going to be the hottest tickets in town. This is the first time an in-season match will be played for points here at the MCG. Now, as for the teams, we're looking at the LA Rams and the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, this is a pretty big win too, because the Eagles are playing in the Super Bowl next Monday, and as well as that, they actually have an Aussie playing for them, Jordan Mailata. So he's an Aussie playing over in the US. He could be playing back here in Australia in October next year. That's when we're looking at having that game here at the MCG. It's really that sweet spot here at the G, because we're just finishing the AFL season, just ahead of cricket as well. We'd also be looking at a daytime match. That would really maximise those audiences over in the US and show off Victoria to the world. But this game would be one of 3 over several years, and it would be exclusive to Victoria. So any other states wanting to muscle in on these matches, we'll just need to back off a little bit. But Victoria really seems to have it all. We've just finished the Australian Open. The Women's Ashes have been here. We've got the Grand Prix coming up, the footy, and now we've got the NFL to look forward to. Really reaffirming we're the sporting capital of the world. Sal?
It is shaping up that way. All right, thanks for that, Hope Wilson.
Australia's achieved their biggest Test victory in the subcontinent, crushing Sri Lanka by an innings and 242 runs. Having enforced the follow-on, spinners Nathan Lyon and Matt Kuhneman wreaked havoc on a turning Gaul surface, rolling the host for a dismal 247 runs. It was Sri Lanka's heaviest defeat in Test history. They had a shocker. The Aussies will be eyeing a series sweep when the second Test match begins on Thursday. And Australia's thumped England by an innings and 122 runs, securing a historic Ashes whitewash at the MCG. Alana King and Ash Gardner spun the Aussies to victory in the night session. The tourists all out for an embarrassing 148 runs, with King claiming figures of 5 for 53. The West Australian leggy was named player of the series after collecting a record 23 wickets. That's the most by anyone in women's Ashes history. And Sydney FC have snapped a 3-game winless streak with a thumping 4-1 victory over second place Adelaide United. Joe Lolly's incredible form showed no signs of slowing down as the English import led the Sky Blues back into the top 6 there on the A-League ladder.
Caceres, that should do it. Sydney FC get a 4th goal.
Melbourne victory moved to 3rd on the table after defeating Perth Glory 2-0.